I have beaten and beaten and beaten the dead horse of I dropped out of ASU. You guys seem to really enjoy ASU content, even though I am now living in New York City. I don't go to ASU. I don't talk to anybody that goes to ASU except Maddie. But here I am making yet another ASU video. Almost a year ago, I made a video about my experience being in a sorority. I left out so many like little tidbits and stories. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just put it all out there. I had made a list in my notes when I made that sorority video. I found it 2 days ago. I was like, oh my gosh, I really should maybe talk about some of these. New York City modeling content is what's gonna be the next content to come, okay? So I hope you enjoy this video. You better subscribe as a thank you for telling you all this stuff. No one else is telling it to you like I am. All right, anyway, let's get into it. I was in one of the top houses. We were also calling ourselves the classiest and the prettiest. We're just so classy and like, we do not put ourselves like out there like that, which is hilarious. Here's why it's hilarious. Let's start with an easy one. One girl in my pledge class had in the back of a Waymo. If you don't know what a Waymo is, I think they're just a West Coast thing. It's a self-driving Uber. There are cameras in it because if you don't put your seatbelt on, the people like come on the cameras and say like, put your seatbelt on. Like we can see that you don't have your seatbelt on. Yeah, she had sex with a frat guy in the back seat. So, super classy. This same girl was the very first person that ever offered me. And I politely declined and she just kept wiping it. She just kept going like this, like as she like was talking to people. This was all in a frat house bathroom on the ASU campus. What's crazy is right around this time, it was like 5 or 6 other girls in my pledge class got dropped for doing that drug in a frat house that is on campus. I guess it was just unfortunate that they got caught because I remember the whole thing being like, our sorority does not do this. And I was just thinking to myself, I literally stood in a bathroom and watched a girl in my pledge class do it and then ask me if I wanted to join in. Another girl, not my pledge class, I don't know what year she was, but she was older. I was in a friend group of like guys, me and Maddie and then these guys. Oh, I'm so pick me, whatever, call me whatever you want, I don't care. The very last time that I spoke to this friend of mine before I dropped out, we were at a bar and he told me, I was really close with this guy too. So like I believe it. And he was not like typical frat bro. Like he was like a down to earth, like normal, very normal guy. He said that this girl, she was a sweetheart of the frat that he was pledging. She told him that she has with one boy from every pledge class in this frat and that she has her eyes on him to be the one from his pledge class. So as you can see, my sorority was very classy. Classy women. Did that ever happen between them? I don't know. That was the last time I spoke to him. So maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, I don't know. Obviously I was a freshman, but girls older than us, I would literally hear them and see on their private stories them drinking before chapter. Chapter was every Monday night and they would say like, oh my God, like I cannot get through chapter like without this. Look, I wasn't a fan of chapter, but it's just like, it just doesn't really match the super classy standard. Hey, quick intermission. I loathe writing my essays, I really do. I'm actually putting off an essay right now. And I know that using ChatGPT has all of these loopholes now with teachers using turnitin.com to check your essays for AI use. It's hard to cheat the system. Now you can use solidessay.com. On solidessay.com, you literally choose how quick you need your essay, up to 6 hours. In 6 hours, you can have an essay. And the prices are only dependent upon how quick you need it. And then they have writers from a few different colleges, one of them being Harvard. Harvard. A literal Harvard writer could write your essay for you and then they get it back to you. No AI, a real person writes it and you don't have to do a thing. I have a link in my description box. If you go through that link, you can get 20% off of your first essay. They can write technical and scientific writing, statistical analysis and data interpretation, business plan and case studies, healthcare and nursing assignments, math problems, lab reports, and PowerPoint presentations. A Harvard writer could do any of that for you. And they reward repeat customers. So if you don't want to write an essay for the rest of your college experience, they'll reward you with bonuses, free services, discounts. What's awesome about solidessay.com is how user-friendly it is. It's designed for students from all over the world. So no matter where you're from or what you're studying, you can jump right in and start getting help immediately. Plus, they understand the student budget, offering top-notch services without breaking that bank. Imagine having a personal assistant who's always ready to help you craft the perfect paper, no matter the topic or deadline. That's exactly what solidessay.com offers. So if you want to boost your grades and make your student life a little bit easier, give solidessay.com a try and use the link in my description box to get 20% off of your first service. Okay, I guess I could talk about some of the crazy hazing. Hazing is brutal at ASU. I heard once the pledge master or whatever locked one of the pledges in a dog cage, threw that dog cage in a pool, and then the rest of the pledges had to go find the key in the backyard to unlock the cage and get the guy out. In one frat, the pledges had to suck the toes of the sweethearts of that frat. So if you're a sweetheart, you get to have some fun. There would be these things, and maybe this isn't a lot of frats, I don't know, but fight nights, the pledge masters would force these boys to drink a ton, blindfold them, take them to the middle of nowhere like in the desert, and pair them up to fight each other, and until one of them wins, you know, then they would be done fighting. But I remember one of my friends came back to the dorms with like dirt all over his body, bloody cuts on his face, and like a swollen eye. And I didn't know at the time like what had happened to him. Like I knew it was hazing, but I didn't know like what. And then a few days later, I found out that it was fight night. This is stupid, but that same frat, they drank a ton, and I don't know if they did or what kind of drug they did. Forced them to go up and down a mountain like a million times, which that's not bad. I think that's funny. Am I allowed to say that? Did I hear anything else? Another thing to just be very cautious of is trafficking, just because Phoenix is, you just get on the highway and you can go straight to LA. And I remember this was like in the very beginning of my freshman year. I got an Uber, middle of the day, mid-afternoon, got an Uber to go take pictures with my sorority at a park. Very close. It wasn't walking distance, but it was very close to campus. The second I got in the car, he was hitting on me, saying I smelled so good, looking at me in the rearview mirror, saying I'm beautiful. Have you ever thought about modeling? And I was like, yeah, I have. He proceeded to invite me with him and his friends to the Grand Canyon that weekend. And he kept asking me for my number. He was like, just let me know, you don't have to tell me right now, but if you decide you want to go to the Grand Canyon. How creepy. And I did not give him my number. I was like, just give me your number, just give me your number. And then like the Grand Canyon, you always hear the stories of like people go there and like don't return. It's just such an easy straight shot to LA, which can be super fun, but also a little scary. So just be cautious. As I was watching this video back, I remembered some more things that happened to me. I don't know if some things have become so normalized to me and other people. It's really just gonna depend on the type of person you are and how you've grown up and who you've surrounded yourself with if you're going to find any of these things absurd or crazy. I know that if anybody that goes to ASU is watching this video, I feel like they would think that I'm being dramatic, or I feel like they just wouldn't find any of this stuff that crazy. So anyway, I'm just gonna do a quick little speed round of some things that I wrote down that I have remembered. Sometimes frats rent party buses and take different sorority girls to downtown Phoenix to different bars and clubs. Me and Maddie went with Pike one time. We were standing at the bar trying to get drinks away from the dance floor, and a Pike man starts flirting with Maddie and then starts putting his arms around Maddie. Maddie's trying to like move and get out from his grasp, and he starts saying, come to the bathroom with me, come to the bathroom with me. And Maddie's like, no, I'm not going to the bathroom with you. He completely grabs her and starts literally dragging her to the bathroom. So that's Pike for you. My first semester there was a butt naked student on Palm Walk with a backpack on, walking to class. Turns out he was a pledge. I don't know of what frat. You can probably look it up. he got arrested for public indecency. Another thing I remembered is on my bid day, after our little like bid day event, which was actually a really cool venue, we went back to the actual sorority house on campus, and all the new girls sat on the floor like in front of the PowerPoint, and then the president and some like other people with positions were just standing up there talking about like what this means now. This was when they were saying their values, because we are not officially members of the sorority yet. If you do not hold these values and standards and you can't prove that you do, then like you will not become a real member. We were told that we were held to such a high caliber, and the standards and the precedent that we will be setting all over campus is massive, and our impact is huge. And they said to us, if you think that anybody on this campus doesn't know that you're a, they know. Everyone knows who is. When you are walking around campus, if you think that someone doesn't know you, think again, because they do. And they know that you were picked to be in this sorority. I can guarantee you right now, out of the 80,000 enrolled students at ASU, the only people that would know that I or any of those girls in my pledge class are in is if you are in Greek life yourself. If you're not in Greek life, nobody gives a flying. They do not care. And those are the smart people. Anyway, those were some other things I remembered. Oh, one more. Everyone's like, why'd you drop out? Why'd you drop out? This is not the reason I dropped out. This was the turning point for me though. After this happened is when I started to rethink things. And everything happens for a reason, thank God. In February of my freshman year, I went to a frat date party as friends. He told me that he considered me his best friend 2-3 months before this. Talked about how like we want to hang out over the summer, go with him as his date to this date party. I remember the very beginning of it. At this point in my life, I believe that it was alcohol poisoning. Some other people in my life don't agree. They think that I was roofied, and that is what I believed for a while. Never once did I think that my friend who I went with, he would never do that to me. He would never do that to anybody. I do not believe that in my heart at all, that he roofied me. I don't know if I was roofied or not. I think that it was probably alcohol poisoning. All this to say, I was there with him, who I considered one of my best friends, and another boy who was in my friend group. He was also a pledge in that frat, so he was there, and his date. So I was there, 2 boys and then a girl. I remember vomiting out of the Uber. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm just like trying to make myself feel better about it. From everything that I've been told, I could not speak at all. Nothing was registering with my brain. So my understanding is we got an Uber back to his dorm, and he went up and got me one of his sweatshirts to put on because I was in like a little dress. And I have it on and I'm sitting on the sidewalk, literally falling over. He has to like hold my body up because I was like falling. The other guy was taking a video of me, and when I saw this video a few days later, because he like sent it to our group chat and just said some really awful things about me. Anyway, when I saw this video, I like was just in shock that I looked like that, and his thought was to get out his phone and take a video. I wish Maddie was here to tell this side of the story, because everything else that happened, I just know from Maddie's point of view. The 2 boys called Maddie and said, Avary is really, really bad. Do you want her to just sleep here, or do you want us to bring her back? And Maddie said, bring her back to our dorm. They brought me back. I guess we got another Uber, because no way could I have walked from their dorm to my dorm. So we did, and Maddie says that when she opened the door, I looked like I was dead. She said I looked like a zombie. She said she was really scared because of how I looked. She'd never seen me look like that. I was essentially having a seizure on the floor of the bathroom. Maddie called over the boy that she was talking to at the time, because the 2 friends that brought me there did not give a crap. They were taking videos and laughing, and they thought it was hilarious. They were going next door to where our other guy friends lived, seeing what they were doing, talking to them, coming back in my room to I don't know what they were doing, laugh at me. They thought it was hilarious. Here's the thing is, I've, been drinking since high school. I have pushed my limits before, and I know what it feels like and what it looks like to be, just so like wasted. This was something so different. That is why some people in my life don't think that it was alcohol poisoning. They think that it was some kind of substance. I don't know. And I'm never gonna know, but the whole reason that this was a turning point is because I truly believed that these boys, these friends of mine, cared about me more. I was shocked by the way that they acted that night. And what's crazy is when you think frat bro, these boys are not. I was so confused why they were even joining a frat, because they're so not frat. That's why I was so close with them. Like, because they were not frat bro at all. And trust me, I know what majority of these frat guys look like. They look just how they sound. They look just how they're made out to be in movies and everything. Like, it's hilarious. Anyway, that is what changed my mind about being at that school. Obviously that really affected me, but it was like a month and a half before I finally let myself believe that it's okay, that I don't want to come back here for sophomore year. Like, it's okay that this is not what you want to do. So I don't want anyone to think that that story is the reason why I dropped out. So many other factors, and here I am sitting in New York City. Everything happens for a reason. I genuinely feel a weight taken off my shoulders, because that is the one thing that I have yet to talk about in any ASU video I've made. Now I can officially say, like, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. That's it. Until next time I see Maddie, shit's going down. Until then. Anyway, I think that's all I have to share. Hopefully you subscribe. I don't go to ASU anymore. I've moved on. Anyway, thank you for watching. I love you guys. I will see you in my next video.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new Kanye.